Wow!
Come on, friend! It's party time!
What a year 2016 has been. Donald Trump is the new United States president, YouTube is making a problem for all of its YouTube creators, and they may not have a future on the platform, but through all this bad, at least we have gotten to know our moves. But happy holidays to all of my viewers. It's finally a time where we can sit back, relax, and enjoy time with our family and friends, so from me to you, have a good one. But this holiday season, we have something very important to do. I knew this would happen, Kat. I knew you'd make a problem about it, so I got you a little something for Christmas. Now, it's not what's in the box, Kat, but rather, nothing is in the box. But before we talk about gifts, we gotta talk about the gift of moves in Smash Brothers. So buckle your asses because Santa Claus is coming to town! It's the most So let's take a trip all the way back. Wait! Take a look at that! And visit Captain Falcon. This episode is where I took a different tone of the series. I got a fresh-looking DSLR camera and utilized heavier and flashier editing. Me and Kat were main characters in the video, and I even had a cameo by Game Theory's Trailer Drake. Thank you for joining me in that video, Drake. I hope everything is going well with you. In the video, we learned that Captain Falcon was one of the first characters conceived in Smash 64 because of his beta models that appear to look like him. Also, we learned that his speedy, risky, and hard-hitting moveset comes from his game, F-Zero, where playing it at higher speeds can be tricky, but rewarding. So, what did I miss? Number 1. For starters, I didn't really mention his claim to fame, his Falcon Punch, and I suppose his kick too. This whole video kinda didn't mention these moves at all because they didn't really have any history. However, many believe the F-Zero series and their characters were based off of Kamen Riders. And it could be speculated that many of the moves Captain Falcon does were inspired from these characters. 2. And before you say it, everyone and their mother was telling me in the comments, well, Mr. Dragon Hydro / allow me to school you. What many don't know about this anime is that it came out in 2003 and only aired to 2004. So yeah, it's no One Piece, but the Falcon Punch first appeared in Smash 64, which did not come out in 2003. Neither did Melee. So, by deduction, we can conclude that this could not have come from this god-awful anime. I've been waiting all year to say that! 3. Other than this, there are some sources that claim Captain Falcon was actually designed to be the SNES mascot, akin to how Sonic was for the Genesis. This was likely done to show Nintendo consoles aren't just for kids and that they also have mature titles. However, F-Zero didn't really lend itself to have any sort of mascot because all the characters were in cars, so Captain Falcon kind of fell into obscurity. And Mario didn't even have to break a sweat. Anyways, let's launch Star right into the Cosmic Queen herself, Rosalina and Luma. For the most part, I liked this video. It had jokes and had nice information all packed together. In this video, we theorized that Rosalina was so OP and obnoxious in Smash because of how literally OP she is in the Galaxy games. She creates a fucking another universe, what? Not to mention her overall style reflects both the tone and gameplay of the Galaxy games. But other than that, what did I miss? 4. Her down special. I do mention that. It was inspired from Mario's very own spin attack that he does in the Galaxy games, which is her key ability in Super Mario 3D World when you unlock her. You can also see the star cursor that appears in Galaxy 2, but it's more aligned with how you move the star cursor around to deflect moving objects or to nullify them altogether, which is how this move operates in Smash. 5. Also, many people in the comments are getting up in arms about Rosalina and Luma being in Smash, but not the Ice Climbers. See, imagine Luma didn't have a face. Bam! Magic of editing. Luma is essentially just a floating object or a weapon that squeals and dies. Nana, on the other hand, used something in the engine to make two models work together as one character. Popo did your main movements, he was a regular character, whereas Nana, she would do her moves a bit after Popo, but also she would act for herself whenever it benefited her. Most of the time. She's still a stupid-ass piece of shit. Next, we have the Ness and Lucas video, one of my favorite videos today just because of how much I enjoyed playing through the games and experiencing the magic.
Shut up, cat.
There weren't really any theories for this video because I was just playing through the games and seeing where all their moves came from, but it helped me underline the quirkiness that both Ness and Lucas have. They're very awkward and weird characters because Earthbound and Mother 3 themselves are very awkward and weirdly designed RPGs. But there are a few things I may have missed. 6! Initially, I said, this power is known as PK or PSI energy. Now, it was translated to PSI in the English game, but I think it's a mistranslito. So I'll just follow the Japanese and Smash's naming convention of PK attacks. But PK and PSI are actually two different types of things, where PK is psychokinetic, being physical type attacks like fire, ice, etc., and PSI being more healing, paralysis, shield, stuff that is non-physical but it affects the other characters or the enemies. 7! Now that I mention it, each of their attacks reflects how the moves looked in their games. Something I did mention, but not quite in depth. For one, Ness's attack effects are always circular, while Lucas's are pentagonal. 8! As for moves that have origins, many have told me that Lucas's jabs and tilts are kicks because they're a reference to the character Duster, a character that you played as early in the game that primarily used kicking in his regular attacks. 9, chicken and wine! Also, there were some costume details I missed in my costume roundup, such as this one. It's a reference to the character Fuel from Mother 3. 10! Ness, on the other hand, has his staple yellow and black costume that is believed to be a reference to Buzz Buzz. You know, the bee character you meet from the start of Earthbound. Since we are talking about it, let's move on to the stages I covered for both Ness and Lucas. 11. One of the biggest things I missed from the On It stage is the rice ball hidden behind that flower pot. I know, I missed it, it was a rookie mistake, fuck! Aw, Rick, it's number 12! Also, this rock with the Japanese symbol on it is actually a shogi piece, a Japanese board game. So why is it here? Well, all of New Pork City kind of has a childish theme because of Porky, and this relates to the toy train and masks and also this gaming piece. Ah, Morty, it's number 13, you idiot! Speaking of Porky, he actually appears as a boss in the Subspace Emissary of Brawl. In the boss fight, he makes some callouts to his appearance in Mother 3. Even right down to the explosive Porky minis that you had to fight. 14. Now that I mention it, I didn't actually mention the Porky statue. This thing in Mother 3 is near indestructible, which carries over to Smash Bros when it chases Lucas. But Ness destroyed it, which begs the question, how did he do that if it was near indestructible? Maybe Lucas is just a weak piece of shit. But then there's this bitch. I mean bitch. Honestly, this video felt very Maybe this is only because there weren't any moves for me to derive. I mean, Sakurai and Trailer Drake did it, so what was I gonna do? And on top of that, I feel like I didn't uncover anything about her design. It's literally right from her games. And on top of that, I really didn't enjoy the gameplay of Bayonetta 1 and 2.
Alright, put your knives and pitchforks down. Put them down. It's just my opinion. We don't need a witch hunt.
So what could I have missed in such a cut and dry video? That's a number 15. Well, my theory of her moves and model being taken from Bayonetta 2 doesn't exactly hold water. There isn't any way they could have exported it into Smash, and a lot of the moves have enough differences to prove that they're not one-to-one. However, it's pretty probable that Sakurai looked at Bayonetta 2 and basically made her moveset off of the moves she did there, without any other creative liberties. And besides, many of the proportions on her body were redesigned to fit into Smash, so she wouldn't be as provocative. Wow, 16! Also, my jokes here about... Hold on. Seriously? What? What does realizable mean? Well, being realizable actually means characters within the realm of possibility. Like Harambe, Shrek, Goku. These would not be as realizable as Bayonetta, because she could be realized in real life. But maybe one day, my lord and savior. Oh, 17! This video was tough to write titles for because around the time I put it up, she got nerfed. They released an update and she got nerfed. She's still good and still has the same design and everything, just she's not as overpowered as she once was, so all the hype I had at the beginning of the video doesn't really hold true today.
Now, since this is a pretty long video, we're going to be taking a commercial break, but when we get back, we will do the other half of the moves, and I will present a little special surprise I have for Christmas. What? Why would I present nudes on a Smash Brothers channel? Why the fuck would you even say that?
Now on to the notorious King DDD. Yes, that is a reference to Biggie Smalls.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Kirby!
DDD is another character that takes quite a bit from his games. His overall design isn't that interesting to point out, but that's because Sakurai designed him from start to finish, like he made the Kirby series. So when it came to Smash, Sakurai designed him one-to-one with how he envisioned the character to be in the Kirby series. Goofy, emotive, and cunning.
18.
First and foremost, dash attack is not invincible on first frame. That is just from Project M, and those memories are speaking through King DDD.
19.
My ramblings about his final smash, you know, his
Big Guy Dan.
yeah, this may be in vain, because when you think about it, having this final smash would mean compensating for all of these models on a 3DS or during an 8-player smash. Now, with his big hammer, they change it to him compensating for something else. And yes, I do mean his chode.
20.
One comment I actually saw made a cool comparison to how DDD appears in Smash. He's slow, powerful, has burst movement, and attacks that are pretty telegraphed. He acts like a Kirby boss, except maybe he's not as easy to melt. What's 9 plus 10? Sakurai voicing him in the anime? Yeah, that's actually false. That was a bit of misinformation by me. However, he did oversee the anime series and took a lot of the assets from that series and included them in the Kirby games.
This pleasantly leads us into the Kirby stages where... Do you all think I'm that inept? Do you all think I clap like a idiot? Like, are you for real? You think that of me?
22. Originally, I went on to say, however, this Star Island is a bit more detailed than the others. Could it be the map from Dynablade? But it turns out that this map is not the stage from Dynablade. Rather, it's an image that came from this Kirby Star Stacker image from this Kirby Anniversary book? I'm not quite sure, but I can only thank my friend and Kirby expert Nerbion for fact-checking this video. You rock. And on to the next character.
No, you moves as a fucking disgrace.
The video overall was one of my first videos where everything was super strong. I felt like the conclusion about DK in Smash was spot on, and his design was really aligned with the past and present in mind. The idea of making Smash DK a symbol goes right down to his moves and his physical appearance. 23. A DK player got on my case about this, so I thought I should mention it. The down B in the air is actually much stronger than I first said. It lets you have 2 downward hitboxes in the air, so while it's not a Falcon down air, it has its utilities for tripping up opponents.
Now let's talk about Zelda month, even though it's not November.
This was one of my biggest undertakings in all of my YouTubing career. Mostly because I was away for a week and still managed to produce all of these videos at top-notch quality. The Sheik and Zelda video had a bit of controversy, the main point of the video being that I thought Sheik has run her course and that Zelda was being held back by her. This all stems from Melee, where Sakurai designed the characters to be complementary to each other. You know, if one isn't working out for you, you'll switch to the other. However, when they're not balanced, this makes Sheik good and Zelda pretty bad. Sheik is your honey garlic wings, and Zelda is just that extra piece of celery and carrot they add on the side for some reason. 24. I do hold the opinion that Zelda is a bad character, but that doesn't mean I think you can't play her or that you can't prove me wrong. Look at me, I've been playing Ganondorf in Smash for so many years and I still attest to him being bad. I may have been a bit on the nose with who I said played the character, so for that, I'm sorry. 25. Other details I missed in the Zelda and Link videos lie in some miscommunications, such as mislabeling the Triforce and saying Duku in Ocarina of Time instead of Deku in Ocarina. I'm sorry, just, when you start pronouncing things for your whole life, you tend to not look at if it's the actual pronunciation. 26! Some people in the comments seem to think that Sheik was originally planned for Twilight Princess, and it all comes from this one image in the Hyrule Historia. But they only made this image as a concept for what Sheik would look like in the game, so Sakurai could include this look in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And now, the Link video. The Link video, in my opinion, is one of my strongest to date, and it's really where I want to take the Know Your Moves series. Now, the video didn't go into theory as much, and it focused more on origin, but that's only due to the characters that we're talking about. It's freaking Link, for Pete's sakes.
27!
People got on my case about how I called all the Links the hero of time. Because this one's the hero of Winds, this one's the hero of Twilight, this one's the hero of Beaver Tales. Alax, you just can't call them all the hero of time! My interpretation of that title was Link was always the hero of time because the hero of time is always reborn into a different world. The ages in which each Zelda game exists are really vast. Have you seen the timeline? I'm sorry if I miscommunicated it, this is just my interpretation, and the fans are technically right, just it's a little bit of a nitpick and I don't think it's that big a deal.
28!
Yeah, so Kat kinda mentions this, but we don't really go into any detail about it. See, their final smash doesn't really come from anywhere. Nothing in the series ever reflects this move. But where I think it may have come from is the first trailer of Brawl. Mario, Link, and Kirby are some of the first characters to show off final smashes, and they have the same ones in-game. Maybe they just gave it to Link because it looked cool and great for a trailer. And Toon Link probably has the same one because he was a late addition to Brawl. That's my 2 cents on it, but it has no physical origin. And finally, we make it to our last Know Your Moves of the year. Mr. Game & Watch. In this video, we talked about how Mr. Game & Watch represented everything from the original Game & Watches, the movement of an LCD screen, moves that reference the entire Game & Watch library, and why his design is so important to the history of Nintendo. Jesus, this guy's important.
29!
The D-pad was created for the Game & Watch by Gunpei Yokoi. It's really cool to see that this interface was adopted by Nintendo and is even used today. Just not on the Switch.
30!
As these Know Your Moves get newer and newer, I noticed that I stopped missing so many things. Maybe I'm just not sucking anymore. I didn't also mention the music, which are just beeps and boops from the original Game & Watch, put together like in a YouTube poop music video. They're nice remixes that are callbacks to all the players that played the original Game & Watches, and woke themselves up for work with a Game & Watch. I wonder if anyone actually did that.
That's it. Those are all 30 things that I potentially missed in each of the Know Your Moves for this year. And some people question why I do this and to point out my own mistakes or my own faults, but I feel like it's a nice thing to do because with Smash Brothers, there's no way I could get everything right. And having a community of people who watch my videos and see and nitpick, it actually helps the whole know all these details. So thank you to everyone who contributed, and I hope you do just as much next year. Oh yeah, the news. What I was gonna say is, the last surprise I have are shirts. Now I know some of you who watch my channel already got your chance to purchase some of these earlier this month, but I'm presenting one more. A shirt many of you have been asking for that really resembles my channel. It's none other than these babies.
That's right, I'm finally selling the glasses as a shirt that you can buy. I'm going to do my best to make it as cheap as possible so anyone who wants to pick it up on Teespring can this holiday season. Now, these shirts aren't going anywhere. There's no deadline. But Teespring only prints a certain amount of shirts if enough people buy. So if you want to pick one up now, it's most likely that a lot of other people are, and you're going to get a chance to have it sooner. But as I said, they're there forever, so you can go and purchase them whenever you like. But that is it for this year of Know Your Moves. Thank you everyone who watched and kept with me and got me to 100,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate it as you're making my dreams come true. Anyways, I will see you sooner on the flip side than you may think. You know, Kat, each and every day I spend with you, I ask myself, what does cat taste like?